小白, that is a big gulf.
Boss May sent people to the hospital to drop several dozen coins as charity, and those she once considered her own. The villagers, who were determined to seek justice for them, not only felt no sympathy. Instead, she joked about her posture when she was beaten. He gave her a highly insulting nickname.
Hold it over.
If you look closely at the camera direction in this scene, you'll notice the sounds around the sea growing louder and louder, but his gaze grew increasingly empty. This kind of spiritual betrayal and collective indifference, far more lethal than that shovel. At this moment, he finally understood that perhaps only strength was the only passport. He returned home and lifted the painting of the tiger, descending the mountain from the wall. In film semiotics, the tiger represents the suppressed beastly nature, turning the sea over to reveal the rusty handful. The hunting rifle is wrapped in a piece of cloth, with a tiger skin texture. It was the last shred of reason in his heart. When he approached the village accountant with a gun and asked him to write evidence of embezzlement, the faint sound of police sirens in the distance made the accountant mistakenly believe he had someone backing him. He even raised his neck and shouted at him with scolding. After firing this shot, the tiger skin cloth slipped off. The beast in Dahai's heart was completely unleashed. Immediately after a rampage, the revenge began. The sea stopped wasting words. His goals are extremely clear. The second shot was aimed at the villager who had been mocking him as Old Gao in the reception room. Third, the gun was given to the village chief, who had just finished burning incense in the temple. This is extremely ironic. Those who commit endless evil actually try to seek the Bodhisattva's protection. But the Great Sea crossed the threshold. After making the score for the Bodhisattva, on the way to Shamei's boss, Dahai did something that ordinary viewers would easily be puzzled by. He casually fired a shot. He killed an unrelated groom. Because Dahai had personally witnessed this coachman, he frantically whipped a horse that was already so exhausted. It was kneeling on the ground. In the language of Jia Zhangke's camera, Old Ma, this old horse is the embodiment of the lower class. He is like the silent sea shackled by resentment and the reins of life. Hold tightly, beat the coachman to death. It was the ocean venting its purest anger on that materialistic world. Finally, he quietly waited in the beautiful boss's perfectly streamlined masala. Any requests? You finish speaking, but it is too late. When reasoning, if you don't listen, now the ocean can only communicate with you through peanuts. At the end of the story, accompanied by the approaching sound of police sirens, Dahai, who killed 5 people in a row, sat in a luxury car. A strange yet relaxed smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Seeing this scene, as a longtime movie fan, I felt a deep sense of melancholy. Finally, director Jia Zhangke gave a long fixed shot. The old coachman who had lost their masters died. The reins have fallen. The horse seemed to regain its freedom, roaming alone in the desolate wilderness. But pay attention to the heavy wooden shackles on his body. It was still firmly wrapped around his neck. This is also the most heartbreaking metaphor in the entire film. That old horse, still carrying the shackles, still wants it. Breathing this land. This was a shackle he could never break free from for the rest of his life. This horse is also the silent and enduring ordinary person. We condemn the brutality and evil of the perpetrators, yet often overlook the fact that we are trapped in the quagmire. The weak constantly endured the whipping. If you speak well, you won't get any response. When you bow your head and beg for mercy, it only provokes even harsher beatings. When all rational and peaceful paths are mocked by that single gunshot, perhaps it can't be called a complete victory for justice. This is the final cry before the fall of dignity. The film never celebrates violence. Instead, it is a soul-searching question from an extremely cold perspective. What exactly is it, forcing ordinary people to lose their true nature? And what made others calmly watch this coercion? Some even applaud the violence, each hiding a sense of endurance deep down. In the daily wear and retreat, can we hold tightly to the bottom line in our hearts? Have you ever had such a moment? Discover your inner voice drowned out by the surrounding chaos, never heard by anyone.